Welcome to the Farmington Town Zoning Board of Appeals. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, I'd like to introduce our zoning board. To my left, Tom Lay, Ellie Cochran. To my right, Bob Gino, Matt DeMarco, and I'm Tom York. Our town staff is Ron Brand, Director of Development. Paula Rufflin, who's stepped out for a second, is the zoning officer, and Elizabeth Lindberg is our clerk of the board. And we have two emergency exits, one that you came into and one to your right. We shouldn't need them, hopefully, but just letting you know. The meeting will be conducted in according to the rules of procedure of the Zoning Board of Appeals adopted on January 27th, 2025. And I'd like to have a motion and a second to approve.
A motion.
By Ralph,
Second.
by Kelly, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
We had 5 legal notices for tonight. Their postings were on the town hall bulletin board, the town website. Some signs, 3 signs were put on the property and then in the Daily Messenger. So, I'd like to first continue public hearing for ZB 2026-0202 and ZB 2026-0203. Adrian Bellis, I'd like to have a motion to block
I move.
by Matt and
I'll second.
second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll block them. So the floor is yours, agents. Please state your name.
This is being continued because of planning board information still. Let's hear if there's questions.
Do you want me to read aloud those for the record?
Pardon?
Want me to read aloud those two? I don't think so.
They're on the agendas. If anybody didn't get an agenda and they want read, you can ask for it.
So we'll start off with any public comments from anybody? Staff comments?
Yeah, just to build on what Adrian said, at the last planning board meeting, planning board received a concept map showing alternative locations on the property for the accessory structure he's seeking. The planning board received it the night of the meeting, and their rules required it to be laid over. They'll be addressing that on May 6th. They need to make a determination which way they want to go, whether they stay with the existing site location for the accessory structure or one of the other alternatives, because that's going to affect how you evaluate the parts 2 and 3 of the environmental record. So with that, they then would direct me to draft those parts 2 and 3 for their meeting on the 20th of May. You guys get a break next month. You only have a shortened period of time, and you meet on the 18th. So the resolutions that have been drafted continue this to your June meeting. We have no other option.
Okay.
That basically summarizes correctly.
You understand that? No questions from the public? How about board members' questions?
I'm set.
I do have 1 or 2 for Adrian. The size of this barn, 4,000 some square feet. You're going to use it to store all your cars? What's going to be used, that purpose of that building that large, bigger than your house? Just storing your cars?
Tractor, motorcycle, car.
Okay. That's a lot of cars. Are they all registered? Okay. So what is driving the size of it over the town code that much larger? Just so we understand, everyone on the board knows. Instead of keeping it to within the size of your house, say, or
Yeah. Small one, you have to add on to it later. Do it, not run out of room or something. So it could be stored inside and other.
okay, and it's just for your cars and your purposes, your usage only. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so we have the resolution. Can I get a motion to accept the resolution?
I move to accept the resolution, sir.
And I'll second that.
Ralph, roll call vote.
Aye.
Cochran,
Aye.
Matt DeMarco, Tom Lang,
Aye.
Thomas York,
Aye, so we are continued. What's up? June 22nd.
What is it?
June 22nd. So I'll open up the public hearings portion of this. First up, we have ZB 2026-0301, Bell Beechner. Said that right?
you did.
Aces Geothermal and Solar, 7288 Rush Lima Road, Honeyway Falls, New York, 14472, on behalf of Villager Construction, 1980 Village Way, Farmington, New York, 14425, an area of variance to allow relief from the town code requirement, chapter 165-5.3F1, which limits the size of the roof-mounted solar system to 25 kW. The applicant is proposing the installation of a 100 kW solar power generating system to be installed on the roof of a maintenance building under construction on the village's site. Property is located along the north side of Williams Road and is further identified as tax map account 17.00-1-70.000. The property is zoned general industrial. So if you would, just state your name, address for the record.
My name is Val Beechner. This is Energy 7288 Rush Lima Road, Hyundai Falls.
Floor is yours.
You want me to stand it?
No.
Over there so they can hear you.
Right, everyone, I'm here this evening on behalf of Ace Energy for the project located at 1980 Villager Way in Farmington on Loomis Road. The plan as is to install a 100 kilowatt solar PV system on the roof of the maintenance building. The system will be comprised of 276 panels. They will be flush to the roof, with the exception of the space that's required for the wiring underneath. The goal of the system, as I know many of us can identify with, is to reduce the dependency that we have utility companies and for the facility to produce as much power as possible for itself. And so, as is, the code allows for a system of the size if it is within 110% of the consumption, historical consumption of the building. At this time, because the building does not exist yet and it is new construction, there are no records to allow for this to take place. So I'm here tonight to ask for this to be allowed, for the size of the system to be allowed. And I know in discussion previously on this application, it was communicated that the system will be intended to operate within that 110% consumption limit for the building, the PV's production to what the building's going to consume. And so with this, that is the plan moving forward. There will be a geothermal heat pump system that the building does use to heat and cool that will primarily use electricity. So the goal here is to reduce the amount of energy the facility consumes from the grid.
Staff comments.
Okay. We've had one commercial project for roof mounted solar. And that's the Safe Place Storage over here on Colette Road. If you recall, a few years back, they wanted to have some supplemental income from that, and they came in and we settled on the 25K size. This is the first application for a larger size building. I have no objections to the granting of the variance. It will allow us to look at a year from now or whenever it kicks in, the usage, and we can adjust the code accordingly. They have a site plan that they have submitted for the planning board because all commercial activities require that site plan approval. That should be on the planning board agenda for May 6th. Is that right?
You mean, wait,
Solar.
we're just, oh, the solar? Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I've drafted a resolution to approve with those conditions. Any questions, I'll be glad to answer. It is green energy. We support green energy, renewable energy, and we have had numerous walls put up for residential projects here in town. There's a cited lack of energy. So Villager is a good addition to the town. They're a very reputable firm, and I strongly support the application.
You know, Ed?
Oh, I support it as well, and it's kind of part of new code, so.
Any public comments? You don't have anyone online, correct? Comments from the board members? Oh, no? Tom?
No, I'm good.
Okay, with that said, I'll ask for a motion to close this public hearing.
Make a motion.
Kelly, second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, hearing is closed. Well, we still have to get to that. Deliberations. We're not done yet.
Oh.
All right, so the next public hearing I'd like to open, ZB 2026-0302. Timothy Wilcox at 326 Rosler Road, Farmington, New York, 14425, for an area variance on property identified as tax map account 9.00-1-70.200. Will allow relief from the town code requirement, chapter 165-58-B. The applicant wishes to construct a private garage, a defined accessory structure having a maximum height 19 feet 4 inches, is measured from existing grade to the peak of the roof. Town code restricts height from accessory structure to 15 feet. Property is zoned A-80 Who's here to speak on behalf of that? Can you state your name and address?
Timothy Wilcox, 326 Rosser Road. What you need from me, Kate just asked me to come in case there were questions. For those, I don't know if you guys are aware, the building actually was constructed for the engineering plans that were submitted with the permit. And at the time I wasn't aware that there was a height restriction until we went to issue the CFO. At that point, Kate said that it was over, so we had to go through the process of getting the variance.
Is that it?
That's it.
All right. Staff comments?
The accessory structure is a very nice looking structure. It is located in the rear yard. It's surrounded by agricultural lands and no adjacent or nearby other residential structures, which is important when you're looking at a structure which is 19 foot high, but it's well seated on the site and well maintained. Drafted the seeker resolution and a resolution to approve with conditions. And if have you seen the resolution?
Maybe so.
And I'll ask you when we do the deliberation, so.
That's all.
Paula?
I don't really have anything additional. You might, we did have a correction in the resolution today, though. You're aware of that?
Yep, and we
Okay.
got the updated one, so. Public comments? Fine, okay. Staff comment? Board comment?
None. No,
Simple.
All right, can I have a motion to close this public hearing?
I'll make the motion.
By Ralph, second. By Matt. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, that public hearing is closed. The next public hearing is ZB 2026-0303, Laurel Donaldson of Bridges for Brains. Injury, hang on. 111 County Road 8, Farmington, New York, 14425. The applicant is requesting a temporary use permit to allow a limited number of supervised outdoor daytime education programs for the public with performances to be provided by people with disabilities to allow the installation of a concrete floor in the existing pavilion to enable these daytime performances and to allow for a number of small daytime fundraising events while a final site plan is being prepared for the construction of the proposed day programming center and the proposed wildlife education center buildings. The property's tax map count number is 30.00-1-61.100. Site is located along the east side of County Road 8 between State Route 96 and the Ontario Center Rail Road crossing. Property is zoned A80 agriculture. I'll have to recuse myself. So, state your name, address for the record.
Yes, Laura Donaldson, I'm the CEO of Bridges for Brain Injury, and I'm here regarding our property at 1111 County Road.
Floor is yours.
So from what I understand, so I've been working closely with, the town staff and updating them a little bit more in detail on proposed activities. So as it states here that we're working on our final site plan. But in the meantime, we can't use the property for, anything more than some of our basic day-to-day, some of the garden there, that's there. And, so we've been working on this site plan since last year. So we are kind of struggling with being able to provide and support the farm if we don't have a source of income. And, so we have some plans on the farm for, as it states, some day program, activities and education opportunities, for the public with our animals and our folks, trees who be educators. So last week I gave the town staff a little bit more list of our proposed activities. So I understand they need more time to review those and clarify more details for us. So I understand that this discussion made it moved on to.
Yeah, we, as late as today, got additional information on a alpaca, was it, building that they were just donated, which is great, okay? But we didn't have that before, so we need to have a complete list of what the types of uses they want to provide on for the temporary use period, which is a 2-year period. Well, hopefully in 2 years, we'll have all this design figured out for the on-site sanitary system and or a connection there too. And we just need to compare the list of special permitted type uses with the temporary use permits to make sure that we're not overstepping. They did grant special use permit approval. However, it's subject to a final site plan. And they are at the mercy of the DEC and the State Health Department in coming to grips with designing a system. And we've suggested maybe some alternatives that might be more economical to them to look at. So we're working together and hopefully we'll get this resolved, but unfortunately tonight we can't do that. We're not ready.
Okay. Paula?
I have nothing additional.
Right, any public comments? Right, hearing none, how about board members' comments? So, of course, we have a resolution to continue this. So I'd like to have a motion to accept that resolution to continue.
I'll make a motion.
Second by
I'll second.
Conway, roll call vote.
Rob Pacino.
Abstain.
Oh, yep. Ellie Cochran.
Aye.
Matt DeMarco.
Aye.
Tom Lake.
Aye.
Tom Moore.
Right.
She did that on purpose, Ralph, just to see if you were paying attention. That was continued to May 18th.
May 18th, yes. For the record, yes, May 18th, thank you. Okay. Next up, ZB 2026-0304, Farmington Volunteer Fire Association. PO Box 25117, Farmington, New York, 14425, for an area variance granting relief from the Major Thoroughfare Overlay District driveway spacing standard, section 165-34J 1A, table 1 spacing. Section 165-34J 13B, determining undue hardship. And section 165-34I 1C, one curb cut per property. The property is located along the east side of Hook Road, south of Belmont Drive, and north of State Route 96, and is identified as tax map account 29.11-1-68.100. Property is zoned R1-10 residential single family. Oh, who's going to speak on that?
Joe Tribble, I'm RDU. Trying to have the to discuss the misunderstanding of 12.5 Road. This particular area variance request is regarding multiple driveways on site. The town code, as you said, you're only allowed one per property, and they have to be spaced at certain space. The operations of the facility are proposed to not only be for the fire association, but also the public. There will be a large community center, or not community center, community room. So in order to delineate between fire service activities, and traffic on site, public traffic on site, and in talking with the fire association, we decided to split these driveways up. So the north side of the site, be an in and out driveway that will be used by the public. And the south end of the site, there will be an in only for fire service responders and fire trucks returning to the village. And then the center driveway, which is the wide curb cut, will be for fire trucks exit. Talking with the town and the fire association, felt that that was the best way to design the site, because they mentioned the site is dual use and there could be a situation where there's a public event going on, like a blood drive or a fundraiser. There's an emergency that happens, and we don't want to add public traffic. Project's currently in the planning board process, so don't do such like.
Staff comments.
Yeah, just to add to what Joe said, this is the first variance for driveway spacing that we've had since we enacted these regulations over 10 years ago now. And it's a very appropriate variance request because of the safety of on-site operations between emergency responders and public wondering what's going on. The fire department has worked on several over the years designs. And I must say that this one here is probably the most appropriate design for merging a public use of the facility, which was identified under the county's hazard mitigation plan as being a community facility during times of extended power outages, inclement weather, other emergency conditions that may come along. And they're still working towards grants under the FEMA programs for that. The department is operating out of a building that's over 50 years old. What was originally the size of a fire truck 50 years ago is nowhere near what it is today. And it is long overdue that we have a facility that perhaps expresses the community's appreciation for the first responders' efforts by providing them a meaningful facility. And this project does that. We've had numerous public meetings. There's been no public opposition to the fire hall. We are very pleased to note that we're moving towards granting preliminary approvals, which can only be done once you guys act on these variances before you tonight. So that's the end of my sermon.
Paula?
I have nothing additional. Ron took care of it all.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, public comments. Anybody else? Board members?
Are the driveways marked? Like, will they be marked to show the ins and outs and what's?
Yes. Especially for the fire emergency, hopefully we'll have signage. There's gonna be, we're gonna paint it.
You know, it's like the public to know where to go.
Yes, yes, we can.
Nope. You said?
Yeah, I know. We had a little, I think there's a little, in the seeker for, is the sign one has the same file number as well. I just want to make sure we had it straight.
Good, okay. All right, so can I get a motion? This public hearing.
Make a motion to close.
By Kelly,
I'll second.
by Tom. Favor?
Aye.
Look. Next up is ZB 2026-005. Farmington Volunteer Fire Association, PO 25117, Farmington, New York, 44425. An area variance granting relief from the Main Street Overlay District Site Sign Regulations, Section 165-34.2J1B, allowing an additional building-mounted signs facing Hook Road. The applicant is requesting a total of 4 building-mounted signs, which include a 4-square-foot station number 2 sign, 18-square-foot Maltese cross sign, and a 31.5-square-foot sign identifying Farmington Volunteer Fire Association. The property is located at 125 Hook Road along the east side of Hook Road, south of Belmont Drive and north of State Route 96, and is identified as tax map 29.11-1-68.100. Property is zoned R-1-10 residential. That's good. Name and address, please.
My name is Joe Ferrer. I'm a licensed architect with MRD Group. Our address is 145 Elmer Suite 160. Tonight, we're requesting relief from the previously stated requirements on not to a number of building signage for the Farmington Volunteer Fire Association project. As you stated, we have four signs across the building, three different types actually, so. Two types include, one of the types, there's two of the signage. So station number 2 is intended to be 1/2-inch flat plate cut steel, pre-finished, painted, mounted on concealed studs. The same approach will be taken for the insignia on the tower, if you will. The 1225 above the entry doors on the west elevation will be vinyl. Will be laminated onto the glazing of doors. And then the large signage that you see above the apparatus bay doors will be channel set aluminum face split signage. So it'll be about 2 to 3 inches deep with an aluminum return. The face will have a translucent acrylic panel that will be illuminated from within to kind of give a glow effect. We're not intending to use the signage above the apparatus bay doors for any sort of site lighting. We have independent lighting with the apparatus bay apron. And our intent of selectively providing the light at the Farmington Volunteer Fire Association is for clear building identification. As stated previously, this building will be used by the public, and specifically has been identified as the hazard mitigation plan. In the event of a significant weather event, the building, needs clear identification for people in distress, especially those who may not be from here, considering this for a it's just north. Those are our kind of quick high level reasonings for my work. Thankfully. Thank you.
Staff comments.
Well, this resolution or this referral was sent to the county, and the county saw a application for sign variances along State Route 96. And that's all they needed to see, which they then recommended denial of. And because they have recommended denial, this board has to declare its reasons for overriding the recommendation of the county. That has to be returned to the county planning board along with your resolution approving the action. I would urge you to, as part of the public hearing record, move the resolution for overriding the county. As this gentleman said, I apologize for not remembering your name, but for the county to say that not having signage large enough to be viewed by tourists coming into the county along a major primary highway, such as this, which is visible only to Hook Road. Okay, it's not signage that's going to be visible along 96 in both directions. I think that's a oversight on their rationale for recommending automatic denial. And we need to start looking at these applications with better set of eyes than what they apparently had in the past. I did this for 23 years in Monroe County, and every time I get a denial from the county planning board, because it's a policy, that policy needs to be looked at, in my opinion. I said it.
I have nothing
To add. Public comments. Still?
I think he explained it fairly thoroughly.
All right, so we do have a resolution in front of us. I'll read the resolution for 2026-0305, Farmington Volunteer Fire Association, PO Box 25117, Farmington, New York 14425. Resolution to act contrary to the recommendation of denial contained in Ontario County Planning Board referral number 52.1-2026 dated April 8th, 2026 for granting an area variance to allow 4 building-mounted signs on the new fire station number 2 building, tax map account 28.11-1-68.100, located at 1225 Hook Road. Property is zoned R-1-10 residential single family. So I'd like to have a motion. to accept this resolution.
I'll motion.
By
I'll second.
Tom. Lane, roll call vote.
Ralph Pacino,
Aye.
Aye.
Matt DeMarco.
Aye.
Tom Lake,
Aye.
Tom Stewart.
Aye. All right, so that resolution.
Okay.
So next would be to a roll call vote to close the public hearing, or motion to close the public hearing.
A motion to close.
Kelly, second. By Matt. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Right, public hearing is closed. That will move on to board deliberations and decisions. To continue. So the first one up for that would be 2026-0301, Ella Beechner, Aces Solar, on behalf of Villager Construction. You have seen the resolutions, read them and understand them? Okay, yeah. Okay. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the secret and accept it by the set?
I'll make that motion.
By Kelly, second by
I'll second.
Tom? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next would be a motion to waive the reading of the three findings and decisions, resolution, and read the determination condition.
I
As
will-
presented by the Tom.
I will motion to waive the reading of the findings and decision.
By Ralph, second by
Second.
Matt. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Zoning Board of Appeals, after reviewing the above 5 proofs, make the following decision. That the benefit to the applicant does outweigh any known detriment to the community or neighborhood, and therefore the requested area variance is approved with the following conditions. The area variance is granted only for the identified roof-mounted solar array energy generation system as designed by the applicant's solar energy engineers as part of this application. And solar array system is to serve only the on-site electrical needs of Villager Construction corporate office and maintenance building. It will not involve any off-site distributions. And the solar array system is to be installed and maintained on the roof of Villager Construction maintenance building. And the solar array system is to be removed in its entirety from the roof of the maintenance building at the end of the useful life of the system. And the solar array system is to be compliant with the state's Uniform Fire Prevention and Building Codes, as well as the Farmington Town Code. And any expansion of the roof-mounted solar array energy generating system may result in the need for an additional area variance. The approved area variance does not include any on-site battery storage equipment. And prior to the issuance, there's to be documentation from the Farmington Fire Department acknowledging roof-mounted system being operated, and once the operational, the existing utilities usage history at the end of the first year of operation is to be made available to the town code enforcement officer to demonstrate compliance with the 110% consumption threshold in chapter 165 of the Farmington Town Code. Understand all of them? All right. Can I have a motion? Accept this.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Ralph Pacino,
Aye.
Kelly Alfred,
Aye.
Matt DeMarco.
Aye.
Tom Lake,
Aye.
Tom Stewart.
That's nice.
You have your variance.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, and then I was like. right.
Yes.
Next up is ZB 2026-0302, Timothy Wilcox, area variance. Can I get a motion to accept? Wait, the reading of the secret resolution, including resolutions.
I'll make that motion.
Tom Lay, second.
Second.
By Ralph. All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the complete findings and decisions resolution? Accept it. And just read the determinations and conditions as submitted by the town staff.
I'll motion.
By Kelly,
I'll second.
by Tom. Favor?
Aye.
Okay. The zoning board of appeals, after reviewing the above 5 factors, makes the following decision. That the benefit to the applicant does outweigh any known detriment to the community or neighborhood, and therefore the requested area variance is approved with the following conditions. The area variance is granted only for the existing 1,200 square foot accessory structure, having a total height of 19 feet 4 inches, located in the identified rear yard portion of the lot at 326 Rosler Road. And any site lighting associated with the accessory structure is to be code compliant. And any expansion of the accessory structure will result in the need for an additional building permit. And the approved area variance restricts personal use of the accessory structure for the property owner only. Can you understand all of that? Have a roll call vote.
Tom Pacino,
Aye.
Ralph
Aye.
Marco. Tom Lynn,
Aye.
Tom Wood.
You're welcome. Next up is ZB 2026-040304. Farmington Volunteer Association. Fire Association. Okay. And can I get a motion to waive the reading of the seeker and approve the resolution submitted by town staff? Motion by Matt, second by Ralph. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of the complete findings and decisions and read the determinations and conditions as submitted by town staff?
I'll make that motion.
By Tom Lay,
Second.
by Kelly, all in favor?
Aye.
Zoning Board of Appeals, after reviewing the above 5 proofs, makes the following decision. That the benefit to the applicant does outweigh any known detriment to the community or neighborhood, and therefore the requested area variance is approved with the following conditions. The area variance are hereby granted for the above-mentioned site right-of-way improvements for this project, and these area variances take effect upon the planning board granting final site plan approval and the issuance of a building permit. And any site lighting for these driveway improvements associated with the project is to be code compliant. You guys understand all of that? Okay, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Ralph
Aye.
Kelly Polly,
Aye.
Ralph Marco. Tom Lynn,
Aye.
Tom Wood.
Variance. Next, ZB 2026-0305, Farmington Volunteer Fire Association. Can I get a motion to waive the reading of seeker?
I will motion to waive the reading of the seeker.
I'll second.
Alfred and Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to waive the reading of the complete findings and decisions resolution and determinations conditions as submitted by town staff. Motion by Matt,
Second.
by Kelly, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Zoning Board of Appeals, after reviewing the above 5 factors, makes the following benefit to the applicant does outweigh any known detriment to the community or neighborhood, and therefore the requested area variance is approved with the following conditions. The area variance are hereby granted for the above mentioned signs for this project, and these area variances take effect upon the planning board granting final sign site plan approval and issuance of a building permit, and any site lighting for these sign improvements associated with the project is to be code compliant. Understand how we'll vote? All right, can I have a roll call vote, please?
Ralph,
Aye.
Tom Lynn,
Aye.
Aye. You have your variances. Okay, well. Okay. Next up, other board that matters, we have two things. The adoption of the 2026 ZBA. rules. You can't decide to accept this one, Paula.
I can't.
So we
Um,
have them put in front of us, right? With a
Yeah.
few minor alterations.
yep,
There,
right. So one of them on page 5, to ensure the zoning board members have all the information they need to provide. That was an alteration. I don't know if you could,
what this had previously said was that it required a report from the town engineer on an application before you could act on it. And there are a number of applications that, like the simple area variance for the accessory structure that doesn't require a town engineer. So that has been taken out of this provision. Okay with that? The next one, I believe, was the appointment of a vice chair in Tom's absence.
that's on page 11.
On page 11, we just need to identify that individual.
Okay. Discuss this. Twist in that.
He's not gonna miss any meetings though, to put me in this position.
Kelly agreed to be my co-chair.
Okay,
Add that up.
I think you should have made it easier and just have it be the other Tom, but
I couldn't agree more, Paula.
and
They wanted the female member to step up.
Wanted to-
We wanted equal opportunity. We support equal opportunity here.
Yeah, but you don't have a four.
I mean, it's always your best two times, but you know, you put Kelly in there, it's fair.
okay.
Okay, so
Sorry.
so
and the third one was the attachment. See the a form used for denying the building permit, which triggers it coming before your board. That form
Is electronic.
is electronic, but nevertheless, it's an attachment to these that'll be posted on the town website on your adoption. Those are it. Simple.
So, like to have a motion to accept this ways presented to us now.
I will make that motion.
Tom's motion, second by.
Second.
By Ralph. We need a roll call vote or all in favor? to Adopt this. Roll call
Oh,
vote. No need.
Ralph Patino,
Aye.
Kelly Cochran,
I,
Samantha Marco, Tom Lynn.
Aye.
Aye, we have approved them. Good, all right. The appointment of the assistant chairperson is my second one, so that's taken care of. Any other board member, matters?
The only thing that I know of is that you have the continuation of the Bridges for Brain Injury for your May meeting. Otherwise, there's no other, at this time, new variances being requested. Yeah, just that continuation. Hopefully we'll be able to resolve all the outstanding unknowns and move on it.
and next month's meeting is the 18th. It's actually the third Wednesday because of the holiday.
Monday.
Third Monday. Takes a village. Thanks.
Riveting.
Yes.
I can see her on the edge of your.
Actually, the only thing we have going that's new since the last time is the industrial building over on County Road 41. That is just by Quentin Shire. We are still waiting for the attorneys to get enough of the billable hours so they can release the forms for dedication of the road to the town so that we can close off the bridge at Wood Drive. And we are working with the town engineering firm on 2 solar applications, none of which at this time have any identified variances. So keep your fingers crossed, because you don't need a room full of people. And that's basically it for now.
Your turn.
That's pretty much,
That's pretty much it.
yeah, yep.
Don't have many words tonight.
Always.
I see they put the flags on the stop signs at that road. Does that mean it is getting closer?
Yep. We,
It looks, I went through there, it looks like they've addressed some of the things that were the previously concerns, so.
we just need to get the release. They're concerned that they may have a building that didn't get a variance, and the engineer that designed it had them all listed, so we gave them copies of those today, and it should be good to go.
Good.
Hopefully May 9th is May 12th. May 12th, a Tuesday, it's a town board meeting where they hopefully can accept dedication of that road and close that bridge off. The difficulty with that bridge is that the lead time in getting the box culvert designed, built, and delivered to the site. It's going to move this into 2027 before it's reopened. So when you have a state agency, you have a county agency, and you have all the experts of bridges living nearby, you know, you really have to bite your tongue, I guess, a lot of the time and get things moving.
Gonna make it interesting for school buses, town vehicles,
Oh, yeah.
or anybody that live right at the end, yep.
It'll be nice and quiet.
It'll be nice and quiet.
The fire trucks may have a little bit of
Like engineering a turnaround at the end of it.
I don't think they want to run across that bridge of winter right now,
Anybody
but
talking
they don't
about
have
that?
to.
Engineering anything for them to be able to turn it into that?
They do have turnarounds over there for them, yep.
Right, so. That's super good. A motion for adjournment.
A motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Second by Tom, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, good.